Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make pasta in the Instant Pot. Now, this is my little baby. This is a 3-quart Instant Pot. So we use this because it's about 3 people in our house. I use the big 11 quarts when I have a big gathering. But for just regular weeknight meals with the size of the family that we have, 3 people, you just need the 3-quarter, right? The 3-quart pot. Now, I also have inside of here, I'm using a non-stick insert, and I bought this one separately. Your regular one is going to be a stainless steel insert. Okay, so I have about 3 cups of water that I'm putting in here. And if you had a 6-quarter, if you got one that was 6 quarts, you could put a whole pound in here. But I'm going to do a ½ pound of pasta. We're going to put a teaspoon of salt. That's pink Himalayan salt, and it's about a teaspoon. I'm going to use a ½ box of this. Now, this is Barilla pasta that has a little protein in it. I like to use the yellow box of the Barilla. You can't always find it for all types of pasta, but when I find it, I like to buy it. Okay, so let me read it here. So this, for a full box, you're going to get 7 servings. We're going to use ½ a box. We want 4 servings, right? 3.5 to 4 servings. So we're going to use ½ a box. I'm eyeballing it, but you can measure it out. So I use about a ½ a box. And I've covered it. I've covered my pasta. So the water is covering the pasta. And I'm going to tell you, quite honestly, I've given you the measurements of 3 to 4 cups and ½ a box. But if you want to just go by eyeballing it, you can take your pasta and just cover it with water. Make sure it's completely covered with water. Not way up, but just covered with water. Just at the point of covering, and you should have enough water. I've done that before. So we close it up. And now here's a little trick that you should know. If you want to move this fast, you can start putting your pot on saute, and it heats up your Instant Pot. So while you're getting your water ready, while you're measuring out your pasta, whatever, you can have your pot on saute. It's going to heat up your Instant Pot, and your pasta will cook faster. If you have time, you're taking a shower, you're decompressing from work, you have a little bit of time, you can start with the cold pot. So that's just a little tip. If you want to move quickly, put it on saute, and then put it up to pressure. If you are starting with a cold pot, you're going to have more time to decompress, do the things you need to do, read a book, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set this on pressure cook. And I'm going to make sure that it's on high, so you can toggle it, right? It toggles between low and high. We're putting ours on high, and I have it set for 4 minutes. This one was warmed up, okay? It was a little warm already. So this is going to get to pressure faster. And once it gets to pressure, that is when the 4 minutes begins. So there's going to be time before your 4 minutes that you're going to, that you want to count for, right? But once it gets up to pressure and the little pin here comes up, lets you know that it's on pressure, that's when your timer will start cooking, and you're going to be at 4 minutes from there. And I'm going to make sure that this is on, not vent, but seal. It's going to give me a little beep when it goes up to pressure. And my silver little pin is going to go all the way up to the top. And so we're going to leave it and let it get up to pressure. We're going to leave it for the 4 minutes once it gets up to pressure, and then we'll allow it to naturally release for 7 minutes on its own. And then we'll come, and anything that hasn't released from there, we'll go ahead and let it vent and take out our pasta, and we should have perfect pasta. So you got 1 second left. I want you to notice something. I moved this around a little bit, and you see, because this is a lightweight Instant Pot, it lets out a little steam. So be careful. Okay? Make sure you keep this in a safe place so that it's not getting jostled around. My bigger one, I don't have those problems, but this lightweight one I do. So now it's beeping, and it's showing us that it has done its 4 minutes of pressure cooking. And now it should start with the little L there. So then the L is going to start counting down the other way. L is telling you that it's slowly releasing pressure, and that once it gets to 7 minutes, we will then release anything extra and pull the lid off. We did 4 minutes at pressure. Now it's on L. It's going to go 7 minutes, and then we will do the quick release if there's any more pressure left, and we will pull the lid off, and we will have perfect pasta. So I let it go a minute longer, and but the pin is not down yet, so I'm going to go ahead and release it to vent, and you can see the steam. This is not very hot steam, but it's gently releasing. Now, when you have something that you're cooking with water, you'll get this kind of spitting effect, and sometimes you can cover it with a little bit of a paper towel or dish towel if you don't want it spitting all over you. But when you're cooking with water, things like rice or pasta or whatever you're cooking with water, potatoes, you're going to get a little spitting. So you can cover it with a little towel. And there you go. Let's keep going until the pin drops. When my pin drops, then it's ready for me to open the lid, and my pin has dropped now. It's ready for me to open the lid and pull out my perfect pasta. And that is what I have. I have perfect pasta. Now you notice I put my lid down this way and not that way because I don't want the heat to melt my new lid. Okay, so here we go. Perfect pasta. Look at that. Ready to go. Drain it out with your little spoon because you don't have that much liquid. So you don't even have to worry about taking it over to the sink and draining it out. You can just use a little slotted spoon, take the liquid out, and you have perfect pasta. And then you can take this pasta, and this works with, the measurements pretty much work the same. So if you use a ½ pound of pasta, any kind of pasta, in this smaller Instant Pot, you use about 3 to 4 cups of water, and you leave it on for 4 minutes. You can heat it up a little bit if you want to go fast, but you let it get to pressure for 4 whole minutes. And then you let it release for 7 to 8 minutes, and you have perfect pasta.